HCAM Sports Talk airs every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. In one of the most recent episodes, the guys were in the studio, and one of the big topics of discussion was the recent Boston Celtics trade that took place, including Jaylen Brown. Here's a look. That we weren't able to talk about, and that was the Jaylen Brown trade. Celtics trading Jaylen Brown to the 76ers. Celtics got Paul George and two first-round and two second-round picks. 76ers got Jaylen Brown. Paul George, 36 years old, averaged 17.3 points per game last year, 5.3 rebounds per game. And last year, Jaylen Brown, who's 29 years old, averaged 28.7 points per game and 6.9 rebounds per game. So I have to ask you guys, and I've been dying to know your thoughts on this. What did you think of that incredible trade between the Celtics and 76ers, or maybe not so incredible trade, where the Celtics get Paul George and two first-round and two second-round picks, 76ers get Jaylen Brown? Andy, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, what an absolute terrible move this is.
For who?
For the Celtics. You trade this guy to a team. Let me just get this straight. You trade him to a team that you lost in the playoffs, an embarrassing end to the season. You trade him to Philadelphia. Philadelphia.
A division rival.
Division rival. This is like the biggest rival of the Celtics besides the Lakers.
Yep.
Okay? This rivalry goes back into the 40s. I literally fell out of my chair upstairs. My wife and daughter come running up saying, "What is wrong?" I said, "Jaylen Brown just got traded." They didn't care that I fell on the floor. They just, I fell out of my chair. I couldn't believe what I was reading.
Well, I'm glad they didn't call an ambulance.
Yes, I'm glad they didn't either. I wasn't severely hurt, but this is awful. This is awful. Ruth to the Yankees. Bork to the Avalanche. Tom Brady signing with Tampa. This one's right up there. I am just, there's no excuse for this. No matter what they do in that bogus press conference they had, with the new owner or whatever, I turned it off after 5 minutes. You are not going to sell this to me. This is an awful, awful trade. Jaylen Brown should have been the MVP of the league last year, or at least be considered. And you just get rid of him. Why not try to run this back one more year? When Jason Tatum is finally healthy for a whole season, they still could have made a run. You still could have put a good team on the floor. Philadelphia, New York, Detroit, Toronto, Cleveland, Orlando, Atlanta, Miami. I don't even know if you're better than any of these teams. This is not a championship caliber team. We win championships here in Boston. This is not it.
So I take it you didn't like the trade.
Horrible. 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 Paul George? Come on, guys. What are we doing here? This was a terrible trade. Jaylen Brown's going to go off this year, and I'm going to make a prediction right now. Philadelphia will win the NBA title this year.
All right.
You just handed them. Do you know the criticism? Brad Stevens may not be here after next year. I'm calling it out right now. If the Sixers win a title, you know how much criticism he's going to get?
But you got 36-year-old Paul George now.
Great. Can't wait.
You sound so excited.
Can't wait. Guys, this is hot. This is going to be so bad.
So Andy seemed to trend to not liking the trade. Steve, what were your thoughts?
I think it's a horrible move. You trade the NBA Finals MVP from just 2 years ago to a division rival that bounced you on your home court in the playoffs. And then you have the audacity during this press conference to say, oh, it's not about the money and the Supermax contract. Let me tell you something. When private equity is involved, they destroy everything. I know, because my former company got bought by private equity. That's why I switched jobs. When they say it's not about the money, it's about the money, folks.
Of course it is.
But you got 4 draft picks. That doesn't.
I don't care. You had one of the best players in the league, NBA Finals MVP 2 years ago, and he was awesome in that series. He was awesome last year. He's the only reason why you're in contention, probably. And you ship him to Philadelphia. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to agree with Andy. They're going to win the NBA title. I'm not going to go that far. But, yeah, that makes the Sixers better, for sure. I think it makes the Celtics much worse. And on the same day all this stuff goes down, there's a rumor out there that the Celtics want to build their own arena near South Station. Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Because where's there space for that?
There's no space there.
Absolutely.
Where's the space, and how are we gonna handle the traffic flow?
You think the traffic in Boston is mayhem now?
Right, and that's another one.
insane.
It's about the money. They want their own arena so they can make more money. So it's just bad influences, namely private equity, are driving the bus. And
Where are you going to put the court on the train tracks?
right, exactly. It's just I think some of the wrong people have too much influence now, and that's what happens when you get in bed with private equity. That's what happens. So awful trade. I'm with Andy. It's right up there with some of the worst moves of all time in Boston, and the timing was a bit strange. It was the night of the Team USA Bosnia match, and it's
No one will realize you
right.
traded Jaylen Brown.
And it's like right before July 4th weekend, kind of suspect in my view, but yeah.
Trying to bury it.
My former college co-host, I remember he texted me because he lives in Philadelphia, and he said they could not believe they got Jaylen Brown. They seriously thought it was a joke. And they said, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, it's like this guy is going to go. I cannot wait till he comes to Boston. He's going to drop 60 points on us. It's going to be.
Him versus Tatum. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be this.
Not for Celtics.
And I'll bet you they'll put Celtics Sixers, possibly both, on opening night and Christmas. At least one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
You know what?
At least.
The ratings of that.
I'll bet you at least one of those
Probably
nights.
both. Probably both.
That
probably both.
Sixers team is loaded. I mean.
So Jared, Steve, and Andy, they kind of disliked the trade a little bit. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I think my thunder has kind of been stolen now a bit. I think Andy basically said everything I exactly wanted to say.
Say it
Pretty much-
again.
Pretty much to a T.
Say it again.
All right, I will.
You know what? I got nothing to add. That's the show.
Tom's speechless. Wow.
This trade stunk, quite frankly. Again, I could not agree more with everything Steve and Andy just said. I think you trade a guy who has won more playoff games than anybody in the NBA over the last 5 seasons.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Honestly, that's insane.
Well, I got to.
He was
go ahead.
absolutely tremendous last year. Again, Steve said it. He's probably the only reason why you're in contention. I'm going to go out on a limb further and say I maybe even would have rather traded Jason Tatum than Jaylen Brown.
You're not the
because
first person
I
that
think
said that.
I think when Jason Tatum came back, they played worse than when Jaylen Brown was running the show.
So, Jared, let me ask you
And
this.
I think this is absolutely ridiculous. Paul George is a okay player, but he's 7 years older. He's not the player he used to be. What are you doing? What are you doing? Actually, what are you doing?
Two things. Somebody told me that they were the only one that took the deal. That they were going to
Yeah.
try to get Jaylen Brown.
They panicked, obviously, because they didn't
Yeah.
really have any other deals on the table,
Do you
which is
think-
insane.
And a lot of people said that Brad Stevens was forced to make this deal.
Of course he was. He was.
He was forced to make the deal. And the Sixers are the ones that took it.
And they could be probably happier. I mean, now you add Jaylen Brown to Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. And it's funny, actually, because Jaylen Brown and Joel Embiid have not had the best relationship in the past.
That's going to be interesting.
That is going to be very interesting.
But you can't deny just that team is loaded.
And if they get LeBron James, which is very possible at this
Yes,
point.
it is possible.
It's just ridiculous to say, but it's possible.
Why wouldn't you want to go there, to be honest with you? You go play with those guys? I mean, I would.
Holy
if
cow.
you're him, that's probably your best move, to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah. I think Jaylen Brown's going to have a good time over there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the Celtics probably not going to have such
Sixers
a good time.
tickets, they're going to be hard to come by, man. People, they're going to sell out games. Like, it's going to be.
Oh, they're going to sell out every game.
It's a team like, they play a team like what? But the point is, guys, all these teams I just rambled off earlier, like, I don't even know if the Celtics are better than those teams. I mean,
Probably
a
right.
team like Charlotte. Like, I'm being dead serious here. Like, and
Charlotte did trade LaMelo Ball to Minnesota. So, I mean, he's off Charlotte now, but still, you're not better than some of these
Orlando,
teams.
Tyrese Halliburton's coming back.
And I like some of the younger players on the Celtics. I like Baylor Shireman. I like Hugo Gonzalez. But to try to rely on some of those guys and Peyton Pritchard more now just because you got rid of Jaylen Brown?
White, yeah.
Like, what? No.
I will say this real quickly, though. I have watched some of the Summer League basketball, and I know it's only the Summer League.
Chris Sinak looks really good.
He looks really good.
He is really good.
Now, again, he's not Jaylen Brown, but
No.
it does give me a little bit of encouragement that, okay, that this guy could potentially become a good, but could. Jaylen Brown is already a great player.
Again, nobody has won more playoff games in the last 5 seasons than Jaylen Brown individually.
So, Jared, let me ask you this: if Jason Tatum does not come back, do the Celtics beat the Sixers in the postseason? Do they win that series?
Maybe.
So if they
I think it was clear that they played
Jaylen
worse.
Brown get traded? Is he still here?
Yeah.
He might still be here.
So we hope that you're enjoying this edition of NBA Talk on HCAM with Jared and Andy.
I included both of you.
I'm just kidding.
But no,
Well, Tom, you've heard all of our thoughts now. What are your thoughts, Tom? Let's hear your thoughts.
Well, you guys stole all my thoughts. I feel pretty much the same way the three of you do. I think this is a horrendous trade. I think it is up there with one of the worst trades in Boston sports history.
Agreed.
When I saw that this trade happened, I like you, I thought it was a joke. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? No, they got to have that text wrong.
Yep.
I was actually in a establishment at the time when I saw the trade, we'll say, and in a restaurant. All right, I was at a bar, and I saw it on the. I saw it on the TV screen, just to like the bottom bar of ESPN. I think I was watching USA and Bosnia actually, and it was like on the bottom bar or something. I'm like, what? No way this happened. They got the text wrong or
I
something.
hope you ordered another one right immediately after that when you saw
was
that.
probably the most stunned I've been since Nomar got traded.
Oh, yeah, that was enraging.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you trade Jaylen Brown? I mean, you got.
Unbelievable.
I almost fell off the couch.
I would have.
when it happened. I was at home.
And I think it was you, Jared, who brought up, I'd rather trade Tatum, or that you said you'd rather trade Tatum. I almost agree with that because Tatum was horrendous in the playoffs last.
And the team was worse than when he came back as well.
They were.
The team did not play as well as when Jaylen Brown was kind of running the show before Tatum came back.
So, but here's why I think they traded Jaylen Brown. Now, I don't know what happened with, between management and Brad Stevens and all that stuff, but if I had to assess the situation, I think part of the reason they traded him, or a big part perhaps, was the beef between Jaylen Brown and Tatum. There was clearly some beef between those guys.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was beef or if it was like just people not valuing Jaylen Brown within the organization. Whether that was Tatum. I mean, I don't think that was Tatum.
Here's why.
I don't know.
Here's why.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's beef because they asked Jaylen Brown something along the lines of like, what's your? They asked him something, and he mentioned that this is his favorite season ever, and that was when Tatum was out and not back yet and hurt, and. That statement by Brown kind of had an underlying message to me, like that Brown didn't want Tatum back. And I don't think Brown wanted to play with Tatum. And I don't know if Tatum didn't want to play with Brown and had the same attitude towards him. But there was clearly something there, I think.
Yeah.
I think there was some kind of beef because I think
I'm sure we'll probably never know. I mean,
No.
I mean, that's that would never.
that'll
officially
come out in
leaked.
some book a few years from now, like 10 years from now. Maybe someday we'll know. It wouldn't surprise. It'll be like, when Belichick made the documentary and then Kraft made his documentary and everything came out that they hated each other. It'll be something like that. So, but I think the only way that you actually trade Jaylen Brown is if he can't play with Tatum, because clearly the Celtics have chosen their guy, their main guy, and that is Tatum, And it always was Tatum, but there was a little bit of debate as Brown came up through the ranks as who's the guy? Is it Tatum or is it Brown? Clearly the Celtics think it's Tatum, and I think that's why Brown had to go. Now, did they handle this right? Was this a good deal? Absolutely not. Because if you're trading Jaylen Brown, you do not trade him to a division rival. That is just stupid. That would be like the Red Sox trading Roman Anthony to the Yankees. You just don't do it.
Dumb.
So, yeah, it's so stupid.
This is going to be a long, long year, guys.
Yep, sure is.
It's going to be a long year.
Yes, it will. Steve, did we hear your thoughts on it yet?
Yeah, we did.
We did, okay.
We did.
A long year.
Watch us win the NBA title this year. That would be so ridiculous.
We'll replay
Peyton
this
Pritchard, league
episode.
MVP.
We'll replay this episode and eat our words.
Oh my!
But Yeah, I just think it's a terrible deal. Paul George is 36. I mean, how many years does the guy got left?
Exactly.
And I think
he's,
also-
he's still a decent player, but again, not the player he used to be. And again, 36.
And then the draft picks, 2 first-round, 2 second-round picks. Okay, one of those picks going to be 76ers are going to be one of the best teams in the league. So, what, you're going to get the 30th pick?
I also think, too, guys, after the Giannis deal fell through, that which honestly I wouldn't have been thrilled about it, but I could have at least I would have at least been like, if they traded Jaylen Brown for Giannis, I at least would have been like, okay.
Well, that makes sense
Yeah.
because you're getting a good young player who is maybe not an equivalent, but he's on Brown's level.
Yeah,
You know, or
I would have
maybe
at
even
least
better than Brown.
Understood, and I think they just gave up after that.
But shouldn't there be like a list of teams you have where you say to yourself, all right, if I'm trading one of my best players that I need to get rid of for whatever reason, I'm not going to trade him to any of these 5 teams because they're in my division.
Yeah, Philadelphia, New York, probably Lakers, off
Right.
limits, and
You don't trade anything serious to the Knicks. You don't trade anything serious to the 76ers.
No.
Or, whoever else is in that division. I just can't even think this minute.
I know it's just such a this trade. It's going to be tough to top this trade.
No, this is the most atrocious Celtics trade maybe ever in Celtics history.
It's-
The Bruins had a few bad trades. The Red Sox had a few bad ones. Pats had a few bad ones. This is the first really, really bad trade that I can remember in recent history from the Celtics. I don't know. Is there another
No,
Celtics deal that's
I
like
can't
worse than
think-
this?
I can't think of one. I honestly cannot think of one.
They've always had pretty good team management there. Now, they weren't always at the top of the NBA, but, they never had like these really bad deals. And this, I think, is going to be a really bad deal.
I know.
Unless by
I
some
know what-
miracle, if one of the draft picks turns out to be like, the next LeBron or something,
Yeah.
and you luck out that way. But it would take lucking out on one of those draft picks to not make this a horrible deal.
I think trading Chauncey Billups was a bad trade, but I don't think it's on this level. This is this is a bad.
This is about as bad as it gets.
And I think Jaylen Brown is only getting better, too. I think he's still on the uprise in his career.
Sure.
He's not on that downward trend yet. Paul George is on a heavy downward trend. Jaylen Brown, he's going up. He's getting better. And he's going to be even better next year. Every year, Jaylen Brown's getting better, it looks like. So, and now he is going to continue to get better, but he'll be doing it against you in a 76ers uniform. So this trade's going to be a disaster, I think.
Yep.
All right, so now that we all established that we kind of dislike that trade,
Nice segment, guys. Good stuff.
let's talk
That was
about
awesome.
Let's talk about something we do like. That was a good segment. Be sure to catch HCAM Sports Talk, airing Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m.